Welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. So for those who might be finding this channel for the first time, I do weekly Xbox news videos where I go over everything that happened in the land of Xbox. Once a week I like to do a roundup video where I just go over everything that was discussed. These videos are normally in a longer format than my usual Xbox news videos and they are meant to be more of a discussion. Now the topic of last week's video was Minecraft and ray tracing, where I went through everything that you need to know about ray tracing and Minecraft, be that on the console, on PC or the upcoming Xbox event on the 20th of April that has Minecraft and ray tracing as an agenda point. I understand that not everyone has the time to sit in to listen to those longer format videos, so I also break them down into smaller highlight videos. So if you enjoyed this specific highlight, please feel free to check out the full video. Let's talk about GameStack Live. Now GameStack Live is the next event that Xbox will be having and it will be taking place on the 20th of April. Now I'm not really going to go into too much detail here regarding this event because I already covered it last week, but I am going to go over the agenda and what was released when it comes to Minecraft and ray tracing specifically. Now before I do, I would just like to note something when it comes to GameStack Live, and that is that this event is not aimed at gamers. This is for developers. This is where Xbox show off everything that they have when it comes to tools and features and everything else that they have been working on. They do these live demos and presentations. They showcase the Xbox Series X and everything that it is capable of. And although this event is not meant for us as gamers, we can still get some valuable information from it. Much more information that we can actually get from game trailers. So I do think that it is important that we keep an eye out for these type of things because it can actually tell us a lot about what Xbox is working on. But let's just get into the actual agenda when it comes to this event. Now during GameStack Live, Xbox will be talking about deep dive technical content across 6 dedicated tracks: graphics, system and tools, production and publishing, multiplayer, accessibility and inclusion, and audio. They will also meet with partners showcasing tools, middleware, audio solutions and more, and then they will also connect with the industry and Microsoft technical expert. Now when it comes to Minecraft and what is actually on their agenda specifically, this is what you can expect. Presented by Nvidia, there will be a talk about ray tracing, and this talk is aimed at graphic engineers that has little to no experience with ray tracing, and this serves as a gentle introduction to many topics, including what is ray tracing, how many rays do you need to make an image, the importance of important sampling, and more importantly what is important sampling, denoising, the problem with small bright things, and along the way you learn about specific implementation details from Minecraft. Now this one specifically doesn't really tell us too much, but there is also another agenda point, how Minecraft is bringing real-time path tracing to its creators, and in this discussion they will be talking about how the addition of path trace rendering mode in Minecraft inspired the creative team. They will do a brief review of the original Minecraft and the pixel art route. They will also reflect on the game's unique look and how players and creators can tell new and different stories in path trace Minecraft. Then they will discuss how this new rendering option is made available to creator community via the texture pack system, and then show the results and then speak to the aesthetic benefit and challenges of this new tech. Now here they say they will actually show off some results, so this means that there will probably be some sort of tech demo. Now I'm not sure to what extent they will go or how much detail they will show, but we have seen plenty of these demos before and I expect it to be more or less the same as to what we have been seeing up until this point. Also just to note that when I say that they will be showing off demos, I mean that they will be showing off demos to their developers and not to us as gamers. This means that more specifically it will be for the developers in mind. And here, since it is meant for developers and not for gamers, these talks can become extremely technical, and I do understand why lots of gamers don't actually want to just watch these type of things. It might provide some great detail, but it is also again for the developers in mind, and if you do not develop games you will probably just get lost. Just to give you an example here, I spoke about the the first agenda point and what they will be discussing. Now, part of ray tracing is importance sampling, and that is one of the things that they highlighted in their agenda as part of the topic. This is what importance sampling look like when discussed. Now, importance sampling is the variance reduction technique that can be used in the Monte Carlo method. The idea behind importance sampling is that certain values of the input random variables in the simulation have more impact on the perimeter being estimated than others. If these important values are emphasized by the sampling more frequently, then the estimated variance can be reduced. Hence, the basic methodology in the importance sampling is to choose the distribution which encourages the important values, and this use of bias distribution will result in bias estimator if they apply directly in the simulation. However, the simulation outputs are weighted to correct for the use of the bias distribution, and that ensures that the new importance sampling estimator is unbiased. The weight is then given to the likelihood ratio, that is the radon-Nikodym derivative of the true underlying distribution with respect to the bias simulation distribution. I had to read that 5 times over again, and I still don't know what any of that means, and I'm assuming that those who are listening right now probably also doesn't know what it means. I'm not even sure if I pronounced any of those words correctly, but that is just to give you more or less an example of how these type of talks is going to go. And if you don't understand, it doesn't mean you're stupid, it just means that you are not the developer. So these type of things are to be expected at this event. It is just important to manage your expectations so you know exactly what you might see coming into this event. Also, again, these talks will just be given to the developers. Now, we will probably still be seeing it, whether it is from the official channels or from insiders releasing it, but again, let's just cap our expectations. But this is unfortunately all that I know currently about this event. We will have to wait until after the 20th to get more information, and even then I don't really know what we will be seeing. Now, there is one thing that I am really unsure of, and that is when it comes to these demos in Minecraft, I don't know whether it will be for PC or for console. The presentation is done by Nvidia, but this whole event is centered around Xbox, specifically the Xbox Series X. Almost the whole agenda is just about features that you can expect on this console, and the agenda is linked in the description and you can go and check that out for yourself. But like I said, it is clear that they are going to be targeting developers to show off their new console and what this console can do for them and how they can develop on this console. Also, when it comes to ray tracing, yes, ray tracing and Minecraft is powered by Nvidia on the PC, at least that's how it started. It is also now on the AMD graphics card as well, at least for the more newer ones. The point that I'm trying to make is that although it is presented by Nvidia, it does not automatically mean PC. Nvidia is working with Xbox on ray tracing. I do not know the full capacity of this relationship, but they are working together as evident by them being at this event. Now, when it comes to ray tracing on Xbox, it is a combination of AMD and Xbox own in-house ray tracing solution, although I will talk about that a little bit later when I get to Minecraft and ray tracing on the Xbox Series X. The point here is that ray tracing can be extremely complicated, but that is pretty much all that I have to say now. We will have to wait for the 20th to know further detail regarding everything that they will be discussing around this topic. But on that note, this is where I'm going to end it, so thank you very much for watching.